Peace be with you, fratres. Hello, hello, and welcome to Let's Play Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader. I am Father Mislav. I'm a Catholic Dominican priest. I hail from Croatia, and this is a blind Let's Play. So I'm not familiar with the Warhammer 40K world. I am familiar with the Warcraft world. Actually, I played a lot of Warcraft when I was a kid. Warcraft 2, actually, Tides of Darkness was one of the games that had a lot of influence on me. I was born in '89, so that came, I think it came out in '95, at least in Croatia. So I remember the excitement of buying it when I was, my father buying it when I was 6 or 7. Okay, let's start with a short prayer at the beginning of today's Let's Play. In nomine Patris, Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Today we pray to Saint Michael the Archangel. Sancte Michael Archangele defende nos in proelio, contra nequitiam et insidias diaboli est presidium, imperet illi Deus sublices deprecamur. Tuque princeps militiae celestis, Satanam aliosque spiritus malignos, qui ad perditionem animarum pervagantur in mundo divina virtute in infernum detrude. Amen. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. All right. Last time we did a lot. We finally gained control over our ship. And we have a lack, we have a deficit of some crew members, some key crew members, like the navigator. And also a lot of officers were slain during the mutiny. So basically half, like 50% of the ship's officers at this moment are not really trained for that job, or not trained enough. And this is like my Iron Throne. The throne of the captain, with the symbols of the Imperium. And also, we should call the cleaning lady. This should be cleaned. This is not appropriate for the main room. Okay. Do we have anything to Abelard? Let's speak with Abelard.
Lord Captain.
Okay. I'd like to know more about my seneschal.
As you wish, Lord Captain. What would you like to know?
Do you have a family?
I am a widower. I am a father of 4, and if my information is not outdated, a grandfather of 11. My family lives on Dargonus. None of my children express any eagerness or aptitude for serving aboard ship, and I would hardly have insisted that they follow in my footsteps.
Yeah, that sounds like a good father.
I used to be an officer in the Navis Imperialis. No, there used to be is not quite right. It was not simply a job. It was my calling, the essence of my life. I was proud to serve Lord Captain Theodora, but in my heart and mind, I'm still an officer of the Imperium.
I see. So I think we'll get along quite well. Paulus also had a background of being an Imperium man.
I met Lord Captain Theodora on a mission where the Imperial Navy was providing reinforcement to the rogue traders' army on one of the frontier worlds. Our acquaintance was not easy. Working with people outside the Navy hierarchy has never been my strong suit. It was to my great surprise then that after the mission's completion, I received a referral to leave my service in the Navy and join the rogue traders' personal council. It was a difficult choice for me. But I saw in the offer a chance to serve the interests of humanity even more effectively than in the Navis Imperialis. You do not need me to tell you just how remarkable a person Lord Captain Theodora was. I recognized her at once as a true leader and formidable creative force. One who had built a protectorate amidst the dangers and wildness of the expanse.
Maybe this is a little bit too forward, especially since she is recently deceased. Yeah, that's all for
Of
now.
course.
Later on, I will get to know you better. No, you will not call me by my first name, if you wish. Not yet. I must take my leave,
Lord Captain.
and I doubt he would call me by my first name, even if I told him so. Okay, that's the map. This is to the Lord Captain's quarters. I do want to see what's over there. Bridge, Technomat. Okay. Idira over there. And where is the Lady of Combat, the Sister of Battle? Where is she hiding? I am eager to talk with her. She also expressed the desire to meet me in private. She wants to share something. Oh well, I'll find her. Let's see the map, the Coronos Expanse map. Like similar at Mass Effect, the way I remember it. And Kingmaker, even though I didn't play the whole of Kingmaker Pathfinder, but I played like 2 chapters, a little bit of the actual world, king building. The events of Warhammer take place in a vast region of space known as the Coronos Expanse. Okay. The sector is composed of numerous star systems, many of which you will get a chance to visit. You'll find yourself scouring the void in search of routes leading to new uncharted systems, discovering more routes as you explore the expanse. Right. I can interact with objects in star systems. Move your ship to a point of interest, then initiate event or open the planet view. I don't want to do something immediately. So this is the star in the system. How can I move? I cannot move here, no. Rykad Minoris. Visit Rykad Philia. Philia. That's a Greek word for love. One of actually 4 Greek words for love. If you want to, I can constantly have the references from the movies. If you would like to know more, 4 loves actually: eros, storge, philia, and agape. Philia is the love towards a friend, a deep, like a platonic relationship. You know, you love another. You just want to what's good for the other. It's not a possessive type of love, as let's say eros is. You want to have another for yourself. Philia is not like that. It's more like noble type of love. The Greeks cherished it a lot, and inside of the Christian ethos, our most the highest form of love is actually agape. Agape, that's the divine love. In theological virtues, we would call it charity, merciful love. But yeah, all 4 loves, eros, storge, philia, agape, are natural in a way. Agape is more supernatural. Yeah. They're all good. They all have to be put in their right place. The Church, the Catholic Church, never went against, let's say, eros, but we have to understand eros appropriately and express it within confines, not in a libertarian type of way. Okay, I don't want to travel anywhere yet. Where am I now? Is this me? This is my ship right here. And how can I leave this? I'm afraid that if I immediately go somewhere... Ship. Just return to the ship. Voidship management. Back to bridge. Okay. What's voidship management? Oh, wow. Okay, I had a lot. So I will be able to put better better items on my ship, managing, so this is like a battery, short range, macro cannons, firing 4 shots. Okay, starboard. Okay, what's here? Dorsal. Mitsuha macro cannons. Not much better. What's on the prow? Long range lance weapon. Everything is about weapons, it seems here. Okay. Another one on the prow. Torpedo tubes. Okay. What kind of engine do we have? 11 speed, along with strong acceleration and braking. Okay. Shields. 80 points of protection for each sector. That's per sector, okay. Sector of the ship, I presume, right? Mark 100 auger array. Targeting data. 80% hit chance, 5% crit chance. Okay. And armor, 4 points damage on each side can be negated. Hull integrity, and we have no components here. Upgrading the hull. Scrap required. Upgrade RAM. Let's upgrade the hull first and then the RAM. I believe that would be... Can I do it? Yeah. Yes, I can. I had enough of scrap. Maybe I can upgrade this as well. Yes, I can. So, my first thing as a Grand Manager of Pallium Dominican is to fortify the ship. The ship's safety equals the crew's safety. And it would seem that my ship will be able to level up as well, grow in ranks. So these are the posts. Shield Master, Master Maneuvers, Warp Channeler, Master... Okay, so I can put someone there, Supreme Commander. We know who that is. Yeah. Master Cannoneer. Maybe him. Warp Channeler. Master of Etherics. Analyzes the ship's order and box system, always watchful for the traces of a warp. No. Master of Maneuvers. Shield Master. Oh, you know what? She's better as a Master Cannoneer. You are better at maybe this. You need what? Athletics? 40. You need Demolition. 60. Persuasion. 40. That's good. Lore Warp. Awareness. Awareness. Oh, she's much better here. Awareness 65. What? That's crazy. Okay, so I put some people on some posts. I would not be wasting too much time. Maybe in my spare time I can read a little bit more. I go back now to the ship's bridge. I have to speak to Generis on the voidship bridge, it seems. This is Master Vigdis. Vox Master Vigdis. Where is... Oh, okay. Let's talk. Greetings, your lordship. Generis Dunrock at your service. He is about supplying my ship. But yeah, okay. What is the due? My duties encompass anything that might enrich you in your protectorate. Supplies. Arrangements to ensure that our hold receives less than thorough inspections by port customs officers, buyers, sellers. Yeah, procurement. Is for supplying, procuring everything that is needed for me and for my ship. What do you think of our fellow crew members? Keeping tabs on your subordinates, a wise move. Tell me who interests you, and I'll endeavor to be as honest as possible. Tell me about the former Master of Whispers. I hope I never see him set foot aboard this vessel again, not even as a servitor, although he would be able to do at least some good that way. Someone has to clean the latrines after all. He gave us quite a fright on that ill-fated day, Lord Captain, and still, to speak candidly, I never enjoyed Master Voidship's company, but I believed him to be a man who knew how to do his job. Regretfully, I was mistaken. It turned out that Kunrad lacked the most important quality for a Master of Whispers, unwavering loyalty to the rogue trader. And his failing came to light in the most deplorable manner. What do you think about our new Vox Master? Ah yes, the Void Board. You know, in my family we used such creatures to query whenever we went hunting. Mutants are the bane of humanity, as an unseen humor that threatens to end us all. But I digress. The brief time Tolman has spent in post as Vox Master, I have not noticed any significant flaws in her character, or anything that would make me question her professional qualities. Diligent. Okay. She can be trusted. Alright, that's all for now. Oh, actually, training? My retinue and I are in need of training. That's true. I will show you our sparring chambers at once. Ah, no, I understand. So he's the one who can retrain the character. I bet maybe the first retrain is free, and retrain and other retrainings are paid. Let's see, I wish to bolster my retinue with skilled fighters. So I can hire a new one, of course. So, but it would be no. I decide no. Okay. I want to know more about the people who buy our plunder. Who interests you exactly? St. Drusus Explorators, Casbalica Mission, Fellowship of the Void. What do the followers of St. Drusus acquire from us? The Drusians still hope to bring the Corona's expanse into the warm embrace of the faith, just as their flock hopes to receive the aid of the Drusian missionaries. So, Reverend Hieronymus, it's a nice name, is the first among the Drusians and most often seen at the footfall's grand atrium. Gloomy fellow, but some almost believe him to be a saint. No, saints cannot be gloomy fellows. Saints have to have joy. Well, not all of the time. We cannot. It's unreasonable to force the joy, but let me not digress. But just so you know, even Saint Teresa of Avila had a distaste for saints with gloomy faces. Explorators. Omnissiah knows what they're hoping to find. Acolytes, bits of sacred knowledge, tracking down mechanical relics, sniffing out xeno artifacts. Tech priest named Opticon22 does business on us. So one is like a faith type of people, other one is the tech kind of people. Casbalica mission, what's that? Immoral criminals. Okay, that's Casbalica mission are the heretics. Mafia gang, Calixis sector. You can do business if you take precautions. Yeah, they just want the money. What was the Fellowship of the Void? So they're like the criminals, not necessarily the heretics, but criminals. Crooks. What's the Calixis sector? A pompous name. Gang of pirates for squabbling over loot and territory. Always a risk that the scoundrels will change their mind. and attempt to board us instead. We have to be careful. So they say Riza Calvaria speaks on the Fellowship's behalf. Adeptus Amasecus on footfall is rumored to be her favorite haunt. Okay. So what's the difference between her, the Fellowship of the Void, and the Casbalicum? Both criminals, right? Gang of pirates. So one is like more a mafia type of fellow, other like pirates, raiding, stealing, looting. Why are we giving away our spoils to these people in the first place? To profit for them, of course. Most of the things you will find during expeditions are complete junk to one such as yourself. But the less fortunate and affluent servants of the Emperor think them treasures, especially when they are bestowed by the great rogue trader himself. Drusian fanatics and pirate cutthroats, Casbalica dealers and explorators. None will refuse our help in these dark and trying times. And there may come a time when we shall be the ones requiring aid, and it would be beneficial to have allies willing to provide it. Okay. I'm not for giving to the Fellowship of the Void, but for others, even Casbalica, yeah, maybe. Okay, let's change the subject. Enough for now. See you later. I don't want to exhaust all the themes for conversation. Oh wow. Fellowship 60. I have enough of it? Do I? Fellowship 35. Oh, that's the difficulty. It has to be difficulty modifier plus 60, so it's easy. It has to be 95 or more. No? It's very easy. Connect me to the crew. Okay. What are your duties? I'm the ears and the voice of this void ship. I supervise several dozen officers and 3 times that number of support personnel. We receive, send, encrypt, and decode all incoming and outgoing messages through the ship's internal and external channels, and we also ensure clean communication and the optimal efficiency of the crew's Vox Masters. Okay, so, yeah, she writes, records everything that is being sent, all the messages inside of the ship and outside as well, everything that is incoming and what is outbound. Your appearance is unique. You're a Voidborn, are you not? My appearance comes from my heritage, generation after generation of people who spend their entire lives in the depths of this void ship. Oh, generation of people inside of this ship. Neither we nor our ancestors have ever left our home. Wow, the same can be said among many denizens of the Imperium's million worlds. We're used to the silence of the cosmos and the voices of the ship. There are thousands of us, but we dwell far from the Lord Captain's upper decks and remain unseen. We are the Voidborn. Okay, interesting. So for generations of people were growing up inside of the ship, and they grew really not just accustomed to it, but like a part of the ship right now. In a way, it reminds me of I always have this kind of let's say, spiritual connections, but generations of people who grew up inside of the church and also have some kind of a innate feeling for the workings of the church. Let's say smaller villages, people who never went out of their villages, connected with the parish pastors. They know simply how it feels. They know what's needed. They have simple but profound faith and can notice things that maybe more intelligent people from the outside will simply not be able to to recognize what's needed, what's truly important as well. Okay, poor Voidborn though, to be inside of the space born and with all this technology uh, doesn't sound like a beautiful future. How do others on the ship treat you? We look, speak, and move differently from the inhabitants of the planetary worlds. Our way of life, traditions, and quirks frighten these people, just like the darkness of the cosmos. Many believe us to be the bringers of ill fortune, and alas, it is the Voidborn who get the blame for terrible warp phenomena during longer voyages. Several years ago, an unfortunate warp jump caused all the food on board to spoil. 15 days later, hungry and furious crew nearly massacred everyone on the lower decks, blaming us for the misfortune and hoping to restock the larders with our flesh. I would have been killed during the mutiny had Idira Tlas not shown up in the right place at the right time. She came to my rescue, and the scoundrels' fear of her was even greater than their fear of the Voidborn. Okay, this is interesting. I might gain a little bit of respect for Idira. Looks like you're close with Idira. The Voidborns seldom make friends, especially among the captain's entourage, but you see many consider Idira to be different. I am different too. We have spent plenty of time in each other's company discussing regicide over a glass of Amasak. Oh, I hope it won't be some kind of a lesbian relationship, but when they say different, I'm different too. Usually the modern games always have to go overly sexual. That's a problem in itself, but also the LGBT kind of way they're moving things. It's not that it doesn't exist. I mean, it's not like I'm saying that's completely artificial. Things like that do exist, but they're not represented in an appropriate manner. And also, whatever you push inside in some kind of a game media, it becomes a sort of a message, you know. So, unfortunately, there's a lot of propaganda happening in video games directly through those type of people. What's Amasek? Potent alcoholic drink of varying quality, widely available yeah, of course. Except the era changed after one incident and we started to drift apart. The death of Lord Captain Theodora made her withdraw even more. I do not know if Idira considers me her friend now, but we used to be very, very close. It is good I can still look after her in my own way. I mean, philia. Remember when I talked about philia, the friendship? You know, that's beautiful. Close friendships between girls or guys. I mean, that's beautiful, but I'm so very inside of these kind of media games that almost never they represent an actual close friendship, you know. You love someone, but not in a sexual way. Is that possible? I think that's actually the one of the bigger reasons why one of the reasons, but for sure strong one, why the Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is very successful. They do not push any kind of those propaganda inside, no ideologies. Well, not in an explicit way. There are some ideological pushings, a little bit, somewhere, almost always actually, but not these kinds, and people are sick of it. So, yeah, I hope we'll be able to see actually well-written relationships that are not based on sexual attraction. Perception test succeeding. Interpreting the Vox Master emotions based on half a face and Vox modulated voice is no easy task, but you manage to catch the undercurrent in Vigdis's words. The Vox Master is not merely saddened by her rift with Idira, she's devastated by it. Okay. Well, I can talk with Idira a little bit, see if we can restore the friendship, unless we see that there is something that is unnatural in the friendship. Tell me about the lives of the Voidborn in my crew. Sure. even though you are weird and full of technology, different, Paulus will take care of you. We're still persons, right? I think a lot of people are like our master of procurement is looking down on you. He's like the purist. He's human and completely human, and you are less than that and can be treated as such. Uh, Paulus knows that if you want to be completely human, you have to demonstrate that exactly in how you treat others who are even maybe less than that. For example, how we treat animals, nature, how we treat, well, people as well, but they're not less human, but maybe less capable than us in some kind of ways. How we treat children, how we treat those who have less power in the society. Yeah, that's where our actual humanity shines. That's where we show that we are human. Okay, so we are part of the ship just like it is part of us. Some maintain order, prevent mutiny, serve as shepherds, support the crew, devote themselves to mending the body and spirit of the vessels. Like you're the good spirits of the ship. Weird but good spirits of the ship. Most of the Voidborn are members of the large voidship dynasties. For 300 years, the main branch of the Ptolemaic dynasty has produced the ship's Vox Masters. Okay. I see. Let's return to business. Connecting to the vessel's main channel, I wish to bolster the morale of my crew. Failed? 97? I got 97? Wow. Before you can activate the Vox, a deafening screech of static fills the air, making everyone aboard jump to attention. You clear your throat and address the crew with a rousing speech, but whispers and indifferent stares are the only response. Yeah, that will be all for now. I just embarrassed myself. Okay. So my ship, my throne looks directly to space. It's pretty. It's interesting. Let me go to my quarters. I'm interested at what's happening in Captain's quarters. Where are my quarters? Where is the... Okay, map. To Lord Captain's quarters. Here. Yes. Go there. No, that's it. Already. No loading screen. There's an itch in my nose, and I got a nosebleed yesterday, so I'm constantly worrying that I won't get a nosebleed again, but it's fine. So this was... I don't want to have a shrine to Theodora. I want to remove this. Can I remove it? Schematics of the flagship of House Confalantius. Reports. Okay. This is pretty, I guess. Vault, Data Chronicle, Ancestry Records. Yes, we need to understand what's happening. Okay. What's here? We have the bath, and there are no weird eyes popping from the bath anymore, because the void ship, the warp, is not bugging us anymore. Place to sleep, sleeping quarters. Okay. Let us check what this clock. ticking of the clock is too quiet for its bulky size. Data Chronicle, Ancestry Records. Let's check this. Okay. What? You're kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. So this is a fun way to that the guys, I guess the team that made the game, uh, I think they put their names and their avatars, their like the nicknames and stuff like that because there are like 495. Nah, or no, impossible. It's probably just also like random names, maybe. Rhino Remembrance. Search name. Are there any? No. Paulus? E-A-L. Daniel Paul Murphy. Eric Siegfried. Jan Paul. Jean-Paul Tudorowicz. Jean-Paul Sokko. John Paul. But I bet there is no Paul. Paulus. Way too unique. Okay. So, Ancestry. I won't find anything here. What's in the vault? Oh, that's the vault that I've been putting all my stuff. How can I sell it, maybe? What do I do with it? Plasma banks, swords, cargo list, melee weaponry, cargo capacity, overcapacitated, 101%. What does it mean, 101%? It would mean that it's above 100%, that's impossible. Makes no sense. What's happening? If I put this sword here. Yeah. So I was able to put the sword inside, no? Now what's this? Melee weaponry. So there is something separate, but this is holy gifts. Melee weaponry, ranged weaponry. Catechism, fire selector mods. I'm wondering how I can sell it, but I presume I cannot sell it right now. Are you all equipped? Or equipped enough? I think you are. Idira. I have the psychic staff, and this is also a psychic staff. So no need. And you have a chain sword, and this is an axe. Chain sword is better in damage, but worse in armor penetration, but not much worse. Can I have dual wielding? Oh, I can, but I presume it will be harder to hit. Yeah. Light glinting. So there's actually nothing of importance right now inside of my chamber. Okay, then let's go out. What's this? A chandelier? Long dead eyes of the spirit monster. That's not a chandelier. That's a monster's head. Okay. Oh, come on, where am I? Am I getting lost in my own home? Here. What's my mission? Argenta asked the rogue trader to talk with her on the ship as soon as possible. Better not put off too long. Oh, there she is. Because she is beneath Bridge Officer Argenta. Okay, okay. So let's talk with the Sister of Battle.
Rogue trader.
She looks tired. Dark circles under her eyes. I can relate. Her hair is somewhat disheveled. I always wondered, is it disheveled or disheveled? Or is that like a British English and American English? I'll be pronouncing it disheveled and I won't even check. You said you have a personal request for me. Yeah, I'll ask about her later.
I indeed have a request, Rogue Trader. The accursed servants of chaos who assaulted this ship took the lives of your loyal crew members, and they orphaned many children, including the progeny of the brave officers who defended their posts until the bitter end.
Yes.
I don't know what customary practices there are for cases like this in Von Valancia's territory, but in the world I'm familiar with, the children of such brave souls could expect to receive some special consideration.
Wow.
Perhaps the rogue trader could meet with the orphans?
I'm impressed. I like her. Okay, that's a very nice thing to do. Meet with the orphans of deceased crew members, personnel. Let's see, what good would a meeting them do? No. Make arrangements for a meeting worthy of Rogue Trader. I'll address the orphans with a speech. With a speech? What if they're kids? They won't understand. I will meet them, nor formalities. Children of people who gave their lives, my consideration is the least that they deserve. Orphans that will be probably provided. Meeting too much. Why would I? Meeting worthy of a rogue trader. Which one would be better? For the kids, I mean. I have no issues with being informal. They would remember both of the things a lot. But yeah, I have to be a little bit informal as well. I will meet them with them. No formalities needed. These are the children of people who gave their lives for the Von Valancia's dynasty. My consideration is the least that they deserve.
I will pass on your instructions. Thank you for taking my request to heart.
You're welcome. Abelard, Assassin. So I immediately go to have a meeting with the children, I guess. Okay. The orphans. The motley crew of adolescents do not take their eyes off you, gazing at you as if you were a creature straight from a fairy tale. That's awesome. Our indefatigable sister has been keeping an eye on these pups. It is hardly the Scola Progenium in here that we have provided the orphans on our ship with adequate care and instruction. So Scola Progenium would be a division of the ecclesiarchy responsible for the upbringing, education, and training of orphans, of those officers and nobles who have died in the service of the Imperium. Yeah, sounds a lot like Catholic schools all around the world. Interestingly enough, the Catholic Church is like the largest charity in the whole world. When we look at hospitals and schools, the number of them is absolutely huge. It's not only for the orphans, but this is interesting. So in this world, Scola Progenium, yeah, they take care of the orphans of those people who died in the service of the Imperium. So your father goes somewhere, and if he dies, he cannot send money anymore. So the ecclesiarchy will take care of you. That's nice. I like that. Argenta is standing to the side of the group at your approach. She perks up and announces, her voice ringing. Brave ones, the master of this ship has appeared before you, the one who guides it through the darkness of the universe by the Emperor's will. Greet your lord, Captain, the rogue trader of House von Valancius. Oh, she likes strong speeches. Very nice. I remember something, but yeah, I'll leave it for later. You notice Infernus Master Heinrich Montag standing a few paces away from the orphans. He watches you with approval and bows respectfully when you meet his gaze. Okay. Grandly address the group. Yes, grandly. They have to be aspired, you know. Just because I'm close to them directly, I have to give them something to remember. So, I, the rogue trader and the lord captain of this ship, speak to you now. Your parents gave their lives for a just cause and brought honor to the von Valancius banners and those of the Imperium. I'm proud of them, and I believe that you will become their worthy heirs. And that is so important to hear for teenagers. I actually got shivers a little bit. You know, for kids whose parents died especially, but teenagers in general, you know, to give them a sense of purpose, that they are a part of something bigger, and they can contribute in some kind of way, and of course that they're worthy, that there is worth in their being. That's so important. Adolescents, teenagers, so fragile, but carrying strength at the same time. The teenagers hang on your every word with bated breath. Only a few, at the far end of the row, seem sullen and not particularly breath by a speech, of course. One says bitterly, "So what? Why should we care? Our friends and parents died in their dozens for you noble lot, and you just give us speeches." Argenta quickly turns to the boy. A flurry of emotions flashes in her dark eyes, like she wants both to taunt him and scold him for his impudence. Address the chaperones. Punish the traveling. Their comportment leaves much to be desired. I hope they will be molded into worthy servants. Audience is over. Ignore the interruption? No. If you have things to say, say them without fear. I will listen. It doesn't matter what we say. It won't bring our parents back. It won't change our fates either. We'll keep slaving away on this ship until we drop and die like our folks, or worse. Okay. Do not speak. Okay, do not speak of their honorable death with anger or disdain. That's nice. When the heretics who killed your parents attacked, I was there. I took command. I fought. I repelled the assault. But no war can be won without losses. The strong have the power to decide the fate of others. The weak either obey or die. If you seek a different lot in life, boys, save your grumbling. No. Oh, that's not completely true. There is a part of truth in that, of course. The one who has more strength has more power or potency, you know. In potential, potency, power. In potential, the person with strength can do more. But weakness, in a way, has its beauty as well. And worth. But specific type of weakness. That would not be helpful actually to the boy. The boy needs strength right now. No, I will not just punish the troublemaker. No. Okay, yeah, the first one. I understand your grief and dismay. Your parents died. It's not an easy thing to go through. But they gave their lives for the truth, for the good of the whole ship, for the Imperium. Do not speak of their honorable fate with anger and disdain. You heard a rogue trader. His words carry the wisdom of the Imperium. hard to say whether or not your words have left an impression on the boy, but he nods slowly. Then he catches himself and gives you an awkward bow. I like that. That's nice. That's cute. Abelard gives a sign, and servants immediately emerge carrying packaged treats with Fonvalancius emblazoned on the wrappers. It's candy! It appears that the seneschal came prepared for any contingency. So I gave candy to the kids. They're throwing it. They're actually throwing it. Oh god. Argenta rubs her temple pensively. She smiles and offers a few more words of encouragement, then leaves the bay. Okay, this was an interesting interaction. That was interesting part of the story. I think I'll put the thumbnail of this episode with orphans. One of my favorite parts of the game so far, interestingly enough. It's yeah, something that's real, you know, carries strength. Okay, let's speak with Argenta a little bit more.
Greetings.
Greetings. How did you end up on Theodora's ship?
I first came here when I found myself in need of passage from Footfall to a remote planet. But I imagine what interests you is not that first journey, but rather what brought me aboard prior to the cultist attack. That story is complicated. It just so happened that
Okay.
I made a mistake. In a moment of laxity, I was ambushed by the accursed followers of the archenemy. I was badly wounded. Lady Theodora came to my aid and brought me aboard her ship, where crew attended to me in my weakened state.
Okay.
It all happened not too long ago. I had barely recovered from my wounds when the cultists struck. Truly, the servants of evil know no rest. There is no place where we can be safe from their machinations.
I just noticed while listening, both on her breast, maybe that's for the cloak, I'm not sure, and on the gun there's a fleur de lis, something used very much in the French royalty. I wonder why that is here. Is that symbol one of the symbols for the Imperium as well? Fleur de lis. It's interesting. And it's used in heraldics a lot. If I'm not mistaken, our new Pope, Pope Leo the 14th, has also fleur de lis inside of his papal coat of arms. I'll check it out. I don't know for sure at this moment, but I'll check it out. And if you guys know what's the reason why she has that fleur de lis, please comment and let me know. I would much rather understand the 40k universe through your comments than me just going on Warhammer Wiki and reading all the articles. There's too much of that anyway. So, what happened to the people who wounded you?
Sadly, they did not. Lady Theodora was in a hurry and chose not to stay on the
They're
planet.
alive.
Her people took me to a ship while I was unconscious, and when I came to my senses, we were already flying away. How I pray to come face to face with those heretics once more, and it's bound to happen someday.
Is it difficult for you to accept that you made a mistake? That's a weird question just to put like that. No. Where did this happen?
On one of the recently discovered planets in the Expanse. No one suspected that it had already been tainted by the filth of heresy. Had I known it beforehand, of course I would have been on my guard.
We could go on that planet and deal with the Chaos Worshippers later on.
The path to that planet was lost. All the knowledge is gone, along with the previous navigator. It would take immense effort and resources to rediscover the route. The heir to the von Valanci's
I
protectorate must
smell
have
a
plenty
side
of other
mission
issues
later
to
in the
deal with right now.
future.
Perhaps later, when the skies above our heads have cleared.
Alright. What was it like traveling on Theodora's ship?
I hadn't been here that long.
Me
Just
neither.
one journey from Footfall, and the other journey, the majority of which I spent in the confines of the medbay. I can't tell you much about the first voyage. I was more focused on prayers and ruminations than on the people around me, or the journey itself. During the last journey, Senator Viserion stood out for me.
Sarian.
He came by several times to ask about my health. He's an honorable man and a loyal servant of the Imperium. I think he is as meticulous in his inspections of the logistic systems as he is in his inquiries about the health of the occasional sister of battle aboard the ship.
Occasional sister of battle, yes.
But not all of Theodora's people have earned my trust. You know who I'm talking about. There is no place for Adira Tlas among the God Emperor's faithful. I'm surprised she wasn't in league with the cultists. And I'm equally surprised by how deep heresy and treason run in this place. I'm glad we all made it through that dark hour. May the day that follows be bright.
Oh, yeah. She's most like my character. But more dogmatic than me. Dogmatic within the sense of this game, of course. So, I don't understand yet or completely the complete distrust for Idira. That's because she's a psyker, right? And what the Sisters of Battle, I presume, have complete hatred for everybody who is in touch with the warp, maybe. But the Empire still allows that kind of thing. That's I don't completely understand it yet. Okay, let's ask the question, but in a nice way. Is it difficult for you to accept, that you made a mistake? I know how hard that can be for myself as well.
It happens even to the best of us. My mistakes are my burden to bear. I'll find a way to atone for them.
No. Our mistakes are not just our burden to bear. Sometimes we damage other people with our mistakes too. And also, even if we don't, there are other people who are willing to carry our crosses together with us. Not for us, instead of us, but together with us. So, even if we have to atone for some of our mistakes, it's alright to have a friend along the way.
As you wish.
Tell me about the Adepta Sororitas.
Gladly. There are none more
she's happy
faithful
with
to the
that.
God Emperor than my sisters. We fight against his enemies by the will of the Holy Ecclesiarchy. I beg your pardon, rogue trader. Here I am talking about what every lesser noble in the Imperium knows.
Wow, I'm less than a lesser noble here.
What exactly are you interested in hearing about?
Please tell me everything. They say the Adepta Sororitas are the fiercest in their faith among the warriors of the Imperium. Is it true?
It is. The Sisters of Battle are a fire lit by the God Emperor. They are the echo of his voice that travels through the dark expanses of the universe. We bring his wrath to heretics, mutants, and other enemies of humanity. We protect the faithful from the unholy and unhallowed. Sometimes with words, more often than not with a bolter.
Okay. Okay. Mutants. Why mutants? I understand the wrath for heretics because of the war, demons and stuff like that. But why mutants? Are mutants immediately like enemies of humanity? Are all sisters truly as faultless as you say?
Even the novices of the Adeptus Sororitas are drawn from among the most worthy.
The best
Those
of the
who have
best of the
taken the
best,
vows
sir.
and become a full-fledged sister are the best of the best, tested by trials of body and spirit. Yes, there have been cases when a sister stumbled or showed weakness, but do not expect to hear a story of depravity or downfall from me.
Hopefully
Each
not.
such occurrence is a great tragedy for us all. Light cannot bear the smallest speck of darkness within. And thus those who have trespassed or shown weakness of spirit are given a chance at redemption. They are called Sisters Repentia, and may the enemy tremble before her, for nothing can stop a sister of battle who yearns to be cleansed of fault and weakness.
So they want to prove themselves also in a way with their purity, devotion, with their zeal. They're called Sisters Repentia. Okay.
Wearing nothing but robes, no armor, eviscerator in hand, those sisters who have once faltered find repentance on the battlefield. Their lives are seldom long, but a death in the name of purgation is a better fate than to live with a shadow in one's soul.
So the sisters who made a mistake, who slipped somewhere along the way, I don't know what kind of sin there has to happen inside of the Imperium, within the Lex Imperialis, I don't know. But so they have to go into the fray, do the fight, but without the body armor, just in robes. So there are, the chances of encountering death are much higher. And what order are you from?
Once I had completed my novitiate, I was sent to the Calixian branch of the Order of Our Martyred Lady, assigned to the Orders Pronatus. The Order's mission is vital and noble. The Sisters Pronatus protect great relics of the Imperium. We guard them, preserve them, escort them when they are brought onto the battlefield or presented for pilgrims to venerate.
Okay. Orders Pronatus. Protect great relics of the Imperium. Interesting enough. That's interesting. Yeah, so they are like the female version of the Knights Templar, but not just Knights Templar, the Hospitaller Knights or similar ones. In the Middle Ages, there were orders like that, monastic orders, but not of priests, basically. More like religious people, religious laymen, in a way, who would go through formation, training, and everything. But they were served in a specific kind of way as protectors for like pilgrims traveling down to the Holy Land, or healing those who are wounded on the battlefields, or during the pilgrimages, or something like that. This is like copy-paste of the Catholic Church's history in medieval times.
And we seek out the relics that have been lost. Neither a coven of heretics nor the most wicked death world can deter Sisters Pronatus when their goal is to return a piece of the great legacy of the Imperium into the hands of the faithful.
To recover the Holy Grail. Lore Imperium succeeded. Excellent. The Order Pronatus is not one of the Order's militant, and yet you are a trained fighter. The Order Pronatus is more like, it's not like battle, but maybe a subterfuge, or playing detective.
Don't let the name deceive you. The Order's militant trains sisters to march onto the battlefield as an army. That does not make sisters who belong to the non-militant orders timid and helpless.
But the conclusion would be others, sisters of battle, other than you, Argenta would be maybe even more capable inside of the battles. She has like dual specialization.
Both the solace-bringing Sisters Hospitaller and the
Sister
enlightened
Hospitaller.
Sisters Dialogus know how to greet enemies of humanity. Their dialogue with heretics is usually quite short, with the last word being a bolter discharge. And my order has all the more reason to be known for the martial prowess of its sisters. We are the keepers of the Imperium's relics. What would become of our blessed hero's legacy if the Sisters Pronatus could not protect it?
Relics. I wonder what kind of relics there are here, because originally relics inside of the history of our world, church history, relics were the mostly like pieces of the body, bones from the martyrs originally, and then later on maybe like pieces of their the vestments or the cloth that they wore, but some kind of remains from the holy people or people who gave their lives for the faith in Christ. So the church would keep those relics and also like put them in the altars where they would serve holy masses. We believe that the church is not just inside of this world, but the church is alive also in heaven, in purgatory, in heaven, and over here. We are the church militant over here. We have to battle. The church suffering is in the purgatory because they have to go through the purgation process in order to enter into heaven, because nothing that is impure, nothing that is unclean can enter God's gaze, enter into heaven. And of course, the church triumphant is inside of the heaven, but we are all part of one church. We are all connected. So the saints who went to heaven, pieces of their bodies here are signs of our connection with them. We are one church. We're honoring them. We're not like bowing to them. We do not worship them like we worship God, but we venerate them. We give them honor. And yes, through the faith of the people, by the faith and through some of the relics that are present and were present throughout the church, miracles happened.
The Order sent me to Footfall. My undertaking was to assist the local priesthood of Drusians in caring for a sacred reliquary that had been there since the time of Pastor Mr. Wayne, the station's founder.
And reliquaries were simply very usually ornate pieces of metal, sometimes with jewels on it, and relics of the saints, like pieces of bone, were kept inside of the relics. I mean, go in any Catholic cathedral and the museum over there, and you'll find relics, especially in Europe, like in the bigger churches. We have most of our relics inside of the Dominican province of Croatia. I believe in Dubrovnik, in our museum in Dubrovnik, it's rich in relics and reliquaries. Quite beautiful, actually. Are there any other members of the Adepta Sororitas in the Coronis Expanse?
None that I'm aware of, but the Sisterhood's orders are many, and can operate independently of one another, sending their sisters wherever their presence is needed as deemed by the Ecclesiarchy. Perhaps somewhere in the Lord Inquisitor's retinue, may his path be blessed, my sisters perform their duty as we speak. I wish it were so. Even a single evening spent in joint prayer and training would bring me joy.
Amen, sister. Amen. Okay, no more questions about the sisterhood.
Arise, keeping them to yourself would be imprudent. It is a virtue to take an interest in holiness.
Yes, it is. It is a virtue to take interest in holiness. Tell me about yourself.
About me? I am the Emperor's daughter and his servant. What else is there to tell about me?
Okay, what is it that's keeping you in my retinue? It's direct, but actually it's a good question. And is she planning to stay here permanently, or is she just passing by?
The ship was targeted by heretics, which means that my presence here and the assistance I provide to you are my sacred duty. Sooner or
see.
later, I will likely have to return to Footfall to protect its reliquary. But for now, I should remain a part of the rogue trader's crew.
Many humans tremble before our onslaught. It pleases me to enjoy our company. I hope that you remain in the crew. You might be of use to me, so I have no problem. I have no place for you. Okay, one or two, of course. Of course. But I enjoy your company, Argenta. Well, it's true, actually. Out of all the characters, her character is most interesting for me personally, because it's very monastic. You know, it's a very religious kind of order. Uh, it's we prayed the prayer of Saint Michael the Archangel, so the battle part of it and the faithful part of it combined in one. It's something that me personally I enjoy it, and I think every faithful Catholic male person, every guy likes that kind of stuff. It comes naturally to us, you know, wanting to fight for the right cause, but staying faithful despite all the temptations. That's awesome. And her character, well, it's a very interestingly written character. But to enjoy the company, that might go in the direction of developing some kind of a romance with her, and I do not want that. That might actually be a breaking the vow for her, for Argenta, and basically I am kind of role-playing Paulus, but role-playing myself as well, so it would be breaking of my vow as well. I don't know if you're familiar, but we religious, Catholic religious, basically a member of the Dominican order myself, we give 3 vows of obedience, of chastity, and of poverty. Of poverty, that means that I cannot have any private goods. Everything that I own is of my community. That's not my own. And of course, we always we try to simply possess what's necessary for the mission, for our normal life, and for the mission that we have here in the world. Like books or technology that is necessary, medicinal stuff, of course, and everything that's like, I don't know, normal, usual. We don't, we avoid something that is excessive or unnecessarily expensive, right? What does it mean that we have obedience? To have obedience means that if my superior, we call it like conventual prior or provincial prior, says that I have to do something, I have to do it. And there is no negotiation there. I mean, I can express my opinion. I can say, I don't think that's prudent. I think that's a stupid idea. Yeah, I could say it maybe. I can argue my points. But in the end, if they say no, I command by the holy obedience, and I have to do it because I gave my vow. I am obedient primarily to God. And by being obedient to them, to specific men who were put there basically in the end by God, I'm being again obedient to God directly. So, if I had a command to move from one convent to another, even if my prior provincial says, okay, stop filming Warhammer games and that's stupid and you cannot do it anymore, I have to do it. But that's not going to happen probably because, of course, I asked my prior provincial prior. I asked him for permission and for a blessing. I talked with him, presented my case, why I think that is actually interesting and beneficial, and it would not like waste my time, and I still have to do all other duties that I have to do as a religious, as a priest, but to have this kind of a side project. So yeah, that's obedience. And chastity. Chastity means we are free from physical pleasures, basically marrying and having kids. We have a vow of celibacy. So chastity is wider than just celibacy, but celibacy definitely is a very important part of it. We decided not to have relationships with other people, other women. so not to marry and not to have children, but to devote ourselves entirely to the cause, to the mission, to the purpose, to serving God. Because in the end, in heaven, no one will be marrying. We'll all be completely united to God, and there will be no need for us to marry, but we will love each other even more. The spouses in this life, if they go both to heaven, they will love each other and know each other much more intimately and in a better way than they know each other here on earth. But on the level of a sexual intimacy, there will be no need for it. So yeah, I presume that in this world, Argenta, because she's kind of a religious sister, right? She has a prohibition of entering relationships and marrying, having kids, because she also has to serve her order. So I don't want to go in the direction of any kind of a romance. I will have probably like a tight friendship with her. I can see that already. Her character is very appealing, but let me answer it with number one. It pleases me to have a servant of the golden throne in my crew. May the enemies of the Imperium tremble before our onslaught. I know that she will be happy with that kind of answer.
So they shall.
Her eyes flash. Thank you for the conversation. Until next time. So, okay, we talked with our people, and now we should basically what's Hypototum to the Lord. We should go towards our first destination. Okay, for the end, let us choose our first destination. We travel with our Pallium Domine. We are inside of the Rykad. That's probably the name of the star. Our ship is over here, if I'm not wrong. Oh, I can move like this. Is there any passage of time? Shall I go to the Rykad Menoris? So what is this? Artificial facility. The guide. Make contact with the Novice Nobility Station. No, stop. Rykad Menoris. Scan is required. Rykad Majoris. Scan is required. No idea what this is. The Prison Planetoid. Oh, this is the Philia. But weird symbols. Okay. For our first destination, let's go to the Rykad Majoris. That's the biggest planet over here. Tithe grade undetermined. Begin scan. So scanning the planet, this is reminiscent of Mass Effect. A special Mass Effect 1, if I'm not wrong. Extractium. A mobile mining outpost assembled in accordance with the Blessed Standard Template construct. This small industrial complex can be deployed on practically any world, however inhospitable. The Serf clan assigned to it will devote itself to the maintenance of its sacred mechanisms and the extraction of the resources that are done. Okay. Tithe grade. Can I click? Oh, we have 0 extractium, so we cannot do anything basically here. We just arrived here. People 0, provisions 0, chemicals 0. Everything is 0 except profit factor, relative value. So we basically can't do anything with this planet. Log. Okay, let's go to Eurak. I don't want to go to the prison planet yet. Lord Captain reporting. The heralds of the Novice Nobility continue to maintain Vox silence, perhaps due to Eurak 5 being off-limits to visitors. We intercepted signals from the beacons drifting in the station's orbit. The demands are clear. We're told to turn the ship around immediately. So they're demanding... They want us gone. We also detected accumulation of space debris near the station's docks. Presumably, it is the remains of interplanetary shuttles. Perhaps the esteemed Navi's Nobility House requires aid and therefore cannot respond to our Vox transmission. Turn back? No one dares to give me orders. No. That's a sign of weakness. Immediately being angry about something. That's being insecure. Contact the station again. I will negotiate personally. Or first, scan the station. Yeah, let's first scan the station to understand what's happening. And then we can be better in negotiations, maybe. Yes, Lord Captain. The officers from the Olga crew performed a full scan of the station, but the information is imprecise. They note wave distortions of unclear genesis, throwing off most of the readings. Okay, there's a blocker, a signal blocker. We were able to ascertain that the reactor core of the station is still alive, but many compartments are unpowered, some fully depressurized. The signs of biological activity are largely present in the central module, which means the station has not been abandoned. So the question remains, why are the esteemed navigators' heralds ignoring us? Contact them again. I will negotiate personally. I'm sorry, Lord Captain. The station does not reply even after an official greeting by a rogue trader and a declaration of your intent to negotiate in person. So, something bad is happening there. Okay. Will we invade the Navis Nobility station without first acquiring official approval? That would not be prudent, right? We want to invade it, but I don't think there's a rush. Lord Captain, only the navigators are blessed with the gift of steering ships through the Immaterian. Anyone else would succumb to the same nightmarish influence it projects on the crew and vessel. To attempt traversing warp space without a guide is a fool's errand. Forgive me for intruding, Lord Captain, but I feel it is my duty to remind you that the Navis Nobility are highly respected citizens of the Imperium, humanity's guides through the war. Power and status of the high-born navigator's house is akin to that of your protectorate. To aid them in the hour of need is to acquire an influential ally. I see. Alright then, order the crew to commence docking with the station. Affirmative, Lord Captain. We don't know what it is happening at the station, so you'll have to look for the esteemed navigators blind. Dock safely, and may the God Emperor light your path. Choose your party members. Well, I think that is very clear who my party members will be, and we descend to Eurak V or Eurak 5, a Roman numeral. Warriors, powerful, blah blah blah. Okay, we know that. Good. So, I imagine there will be immediate cutscene. Yes.
Pathetic worm. You dare to argue with your master?
It was not you whom I swore to serve within these walls. My lips are sealed.
Loyal.
Confess. What was the old man's last command? What are you planning?
Give up, Keeper. You have lost this battle. Again.
We're getting nowhere with these ones, sir. Permission to execute them.
And we just suddenly appeared. The Navis Nobility Station is not responding to any signals. Oh, come on. This is weird. I cannot see the interaction. I command you to execute the officials. They're executing them. Yeah. That's unfortunate. They remained loyal. And we suddenly appeared. Unfortunately, that was after they were executed. tall man stops you with a gesture when you approach. Blood is trickling down the pearly scales of his weary face, and not just his own blood. Two jet black, unblinking eyes are watching your every move. The third one, the mark of a navigator's fate, is menacingly pulsing behind a lowered lid in the middle of his forehead. So Velic Orselio is a navigator, it would seem. Step back, or I will unleash all the horrors of the Sea of Souls upon you, Emperor, be my witness. Desist, brother. It was the Emperor's will that brought me to this abode. No one has the right to interpret his will so freely, brother. But wait, I recognize your coat of arms. You must be a lord of the von Valancius dynasty. Yes, I'm absolutely positive, in fact. And since fate has brought such an important person into my abode, allow me to introduce myself. Before you stands Felix Christoph August, keeper of the station. Oh, keeper is like keeper, actual keeper of the station. So you did not come to offer support to the traitors? This is great news. Having said that, you must understand that Eurak 5 is a holy sanctum for House Orselio, and the path to it is only revealed to a select few. It pains me to say you are not on the guest list. Okay, so maybe I will intimidate him with a question for the Lord Inquisitor's interrogator. I'm looking for the Lord Inquisitor's interrogator, one Heinrich von Kallax. Do you know anything about his present location? The Lord Inquisitor's interrogator? I think I would know if such an important individual decided to pay us a visit. What is happening on the station? Where did all these corpses come from? Betrayal. The most banal thing in the life of the nobility, don't you think? I was stabbed in the back by my closest friend, Theobald Orselio, the second keeper of Eurak 5 and my mentor. On his instructions, my own people sabotaged the generators, blew up the shuttles, and brutally... On his instructions, right? And brutally massacred the loyal servants of my mistress. Most unforgivably, they dared to take her prisoner. Greedy scum. I swear by the throne's light their souls will perish in the darkness of the void. Oh, the madmen have captured Lady Kasia and are now torturing her upstairs while we idly chattering. Here, help me rescue her, I'll be gone, but waste no more of my precious time. Okay. What kind of help are you talking about? I would never ask you for such a favor under different circumstances, and yet Lady Cassia's well-being is above all. I haven't got many people left, and my wounds are too deep for me to act with precision and swiftness. But you may actually succeed. In order to ascend to the mistress's chamber, you will need to remake a holy relic sanctified with the blood of Lady Orselio herself. That is the central rod of the elevator machine spirit. So he gave me the central rod. I need to remake a holy relic with the blood of the Lady Orselio. One part he has, the other was lost, but unless the elevator mechanism is powered, even the relic is of no use. How do I remake the rod? I have a phylactery containing the mistress's blood. It needs to be taken to the laboratory, which is located behind one of the reliquary's doors. The most ancient of sacred mechanisms will help to rebuild the rod. The tech priest ceaselessly performed the rites of appeasement so that the machine spirit would serve the house in its time of need. The fateful hour is upon us. How am I supposed to power the elevator? The station's main cogitator is situated in the guard room. Just enter the correct command sequence and the sacred mechanism will do the rest. And why don't you do it yourself? Is it simple? I never said a feat would be easy to accomplish. The path to the laboratory and the guard room is blocked by the very same madmen who took over the station. They will not negotiate and are not afraid of displeasing the novice nobility or incurring the Emperor's wrath. They bow only to brute strength, something which I currently happen to lack. Why should I help you? You came to the station for a reason. House Assaria will not be able to help you until the current crisis is resolved. That's true. He knows, he understands that I came with a reason here. That makes sense. Wow, too many questions. Okay, the woes of your house upset the balance of power in this part of the galaxy. I will help you, if not for the sake of profit, but for the good of Imperia. I like this one. I like the third one. Honor to serve the Lady Navigator. This is very... in return, sign a contract with my protectorate. I think if I do a well enough job, they will sign a contract or something like that either way. Yeah, this one. He nods curtly. You should hurry then. We will stay here to hold the line and lick our wounds. Good luck, rogue trader. May the Emperor's light be upon you. Okay, we will stop here. So we have to save the lady navigator. The lady something. Lady Cassia. Okay. We did a lot. I mean, did a lot. We had interaction with the orphan children, which I liked a lot, and we finally started to move with our ship. And we moved inside of the planet, the Navis Nobilita, where we have to find a navigator, but first we have to save Lady Cassia, who was taken by some kind of traders or mutineers, but even that is kind of fishy, suspicious to me, because you were just really killing all these guys that you probably should have just died and put aside, and after the mutiny is extinguished, then you can maybe rehabilitate them. So this was not very nice. I dislike you. Because of that, you should not just freely murder other human beings. Okay. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you like it. Like the video, because the YouTube algorithms, how should I call it? The machine spirit reacts to certain kind of inputs, and that is the incense of liking, subscribing, and sharing. Yeah, please comment if there is something that you like, or you have good suggestions for me to improve on the video, for me to make specific decisions or do something within the game. Don't spoil the game for me, please, but you can direct me to also other material through which I can familiarize myself with the Warhammer 40K lore more. I would like to do that, and maybe record myself while doing that as well. So see you next time. Goodbye.